The southeast corner of Japan, that is the area around Tokyo, is densely populated. When people can, they like to get away to a beauty spot. Of the ones near Tokyo, the most popular is Hakone, 50 miles to the southwest, up in the mountains and not too far from Mount Fuji.
Good afternoon. My name is Kiyoshi Tsunoda. I'm going to take Trevor-san to Hakone. It is one of the most beautiful resorts in Japan. And in Hakone, we could see Mount Fuji, I hope, and it will be very beautiful at this time of the year.
Our journey started from Yachimata, northeast of Tokyo, and as soon as we could, we got on a high-speed toll road. These roads are expensive to travel on, 20 to 25 pounds an hour, but they save an enormous amount of time, as ordinary roads are crowded and slow. Rather than going through Tokyo, we took the new toll road marked red down the southeast of Tokyo Bay in order to see and use the Aqua Line crossing. This is very impressive. 5 kilometers of bridge, 10 kilometers of tunnel, a big structure where the two meet, and a ventilation shaft halfway along the tunnel. It took 8 years to construct and was opened in 1997. Now we're on the bridge. Our car is about to turn left off the main road and onto the artificial island, while the truck ahead goes on down and through the tunnel. The sail-like object in the distance is the ventilation shaft. The concrete sails catch the breeze and divert it down the tunnel. This big circular chunk of steel comes from one of the cutters used in making the tunnels. You can see the steel teeth which cut out the soil beneath the sea. The two tunnels, one for traffic in each direction, were driven from both ends, and when they met they were only 5 centimeters out of line. This tunnel is the largest in diameter in the world and also the longest in the world for cars driving underwater. Care had to be taken in the design to guard against earthquakes. As we come out of the tunnel, we join one of the toll roads that run along the north edge of Tokyo Bay. This one being partly on reclaimed land, but also needing many bridges. We're now in Yokohama, a very attractive port city with many new buildings. Our journey from Yokohama to Hakone was in the dark. Had it been light, we might have seen Mount Fuji hidden in cloud as it often is. We would also have passed the sign telling us we had reached the Hakone Park area. Our hotel was very comfortable, especially the bath. Japanese baths are wonderful, up to your neck in really hot water, either indoors or outside where you can admire the view. The next morning, Mr. Tsunoda and I were up early to get to the lake in the hope of seeing Mount Fuji before it clouded up. On the way, we passed the highest point of the road, 874 meters high, that is nearly 3,000 feet. When we got to the lake, we were not disappointed. Mount Fuji was clearly visible, even though it is 14 miles away. The little red torii arch, symbol of a Shinto shrine, makes an attractive dash of color. Mount Fuji stayed visible all that day, which Mr. Tsunoda said was fairly unusual. So we had many opportunities to view this oh so beautiful volcano.
There are many lakes around Mount Fuji. The one near Hakone is called Lake Ashi.
Just northeast of Lake Ashi is a place where volcanic activity still goes on today. Steam with a sulfuric smell comes belching out of the rocks. Lots of people come to see all this. In places there are springs of hot water, temperature 80 degrees Celsius. The yellow-hatted children are on a school trip. One of Hakone's specialities are the eggs, boiled in the hot water. The sulfur in the water turns the shell black, but inside they're fine. Eating one is supposed to add 7 years to your life. The road from Tokyo, the new capital in the east, to Kyoto, the old capital in the west, shown red on the map, has always been important. Nowadays, by expressway, you cover it in a few hours. In medieval times, though, it took many days. The journey along that road was immortalized by a series of paintings by the artist Hiroshige. There were 53 stopping places on that road, and Hiroshige painted one for each stopping place, number 11 being the one for Hakone. This is Hiroshige's painting of Hakone, showing the hills, the lake and Mount Fuji in white. The modern expressway, shown light green, goes north of Lake Ashi and is partly tunnelled. But the old road went direct via Hakone, even though it meant going over the pass at nearly 3,000 feet. The mode of transport was either horse or walking. Rich people were carried in portable cabins, carried on people's shoulders. A tough job for the carriers, up and down 3,000 feet, a total distance of 24 miles. So a stopover at Hakone would have been very welcome. The feudal chiefs had to travel to Tokyo along this road every 2 years. It was to use up their money and stop them rebelling. Every year on November the 3rd, Japan's Culture Day, there is a festival in Hakone reenacting such travel. The Daimyo Parade, it is called. Travel in medieval Japan was strictly controlled and limited to certain routes with checkpoints, that is, guardhouses, where travel documents were inspected. Hakone had such a guardhouse, one that has been extensively rebuilt in the last few years. Today, for most Japanese people, the Hakone checkpoint is another place to visit, and also to have your photo taken. So it is goodbye to Hakone, a lovely view with a pirate ship off to pick up visitors at one of its stop-off places. On the journey home, we're not going back across the bay, but taking the expressway through Tokyo itself. And that is exciting, especially at night, almost like a fairyland. That's Tokyo Tower.
ちょっとだけっていうの。この後ろ、左後ろ。
My visit to Hakone is over. I hope you get the chance to go there someday.